Hi guys, so we're actually outside the Savoy. We're about to watch the Five Nights at Freddy's movie.
Bet that shocked you, didn't it?
Yeah. So we'll be back in a bit to let you know what our thoughts were, what we liked, what we didn't like. Who knows? See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
So we're at the Savoy, and as you can see, we've got one of the couple's sofas. And someone's very excited to watch the FNAF movie.
I've been waiting ages for this.
I'm just, thinking, well, I've seen the original, the Willy's Wonderland. So I'm just gonna, see how this,
it's
new,
really
new
not.
remake
It's
pans
not.
out.
It's not a rip-off. It's not the original. This is the original. Don't start with that Willy's Wonderland shit.
But that came out first.
No. No, it was inspired.
Anyway, we've seen some negative reviews.
Yeah, complete. Oh, the adverts have started.
That word you use?
Spoilers.
I like that word.
I don't know. Well, we've just got back from the Savoy, and it's absolutely pissing it down outside, and we thought we'd have a quick debrief rather than talking about it and then doing a debrief on the video. We thought we'd do the debrief directly with you guys. We haven't discussed the film since we left the cinema, so
not to
this should be quite interesting. You're the FNAF fanatic. I'll let you FNAF fanatic.
Okay, stop.
If you will.
So basically, I'm going to be honest. I had some mixed views because people's perception of it's shit warped my experience going in, but
I think that's the problem, isn't it? When you start reading reviews before you see something, you are conditioned to not like it or like it, and it's almost like you try and go in with an open mind, but you have that in the back of your mind that several people have told you it's shit.
So it must be. But
so do you want me to give you my views as a non-FNAF fan?
Do you know what? I think that'll be an interesting move because I'm going to be doing a podcast with Fenrix and James in a little bit more detail, diving right into the film. So this purpose of this video is I took my boyfriend, finally watched it, and I think it'll be interesting for FNAF fans watching. If you are, hello, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, show your friends, let them know.
Okay.
But yeah, enough. So basically, what was it like being a non-FNAF fan going into the FNAF?
Well, do you know what?
Like?
I'm going to pretend for a minute. Let's pretend that I never met you. I never got involved with anybody who's in the FNAF fandom. Because even though, I'll be honest, even though I've known Anthony for 3 years, over 3 years. What was it? February 20? Oh, nearly 4 actually.
4 years.
And we've been in a relationship for sort of 18 months-ish. I still don't really know that much about FNAF. I know he collects all these weird looking figures. I know he collects all these weird plushies. I know he chucks all this money away on these daft little figures where you buy in a packet and you don't even know what you're buying. And I know that he's a little cash bitch for Scott Cawthon. But I don't really understand the whole FNAF thing. I don't understand it, and I know that the FNAF fans are, it should have been this, it should have been that, it should have been the other, and I don't really know what the FNAF fans wanted from that film. So, as a non-FNAF fan, my opinion is it was pretty good.
Was there any bits that stood out to you?
Well, I went. So if I watch I watch horror films, so if I would have watched that horror film knowing absolutely nothing about the FNAF franchise, which I don't know that much about it anyway, but if let's say I've gone in now, I've watched this as a horror film.
We finally got him to watch it.
I would say it was a little bit confusing to start with. I wasn't really sure what the time period was that I was watching. They talked about, in the 80s this stuff happened, but it wasn't really clear what time period we were in now. And then I was just picking up on clues of, the old-fashioned TV, the old-fashioned phones. Nobody had a mobile. The policewoman was saying she liked it when she was a kid. She was clearly only in her 20s. So, and I think they were trying to portray Josh Hutcherson as a character that was much younger than he is in real life, which I'd not quite grasped that straight away. Because at the beginning I was thinking, okay, is it 2023 here? And I was thinking there's no way that all this stuff's been left since the 80s and it still works, in that venue. But clearly we were in the 90s, it seems. I mean, as I was watching it, I was thinking, well, did the police really not look in that room after they had investigated the break-in? But then I suppose it became obvious later on the policewoman had a vested interest in the whole thing, didn't she? So, anyway, so yeah, as a horror film, I would have gone in there and I would have watched it and I would have come out and thinking, yeah, it was a 7 out of 10. I didn't find it particularly scary, but I'm not easy to scare. Because I think I've just watched so many horror films that I'm not easy to scare anymore.
I'm easy to scare.
Yeah, you're easy to scare. There's clearly I mean, I don't know if he was influenced by these films, but I certainly got influences of Nightmare on Elm Street from it. Something happens when you're asleep and it happens in real life. I got sort of, the creepy kid vibe from Pet Sematary and Children of the Corn, those kinds of films. So I get the feeling that there was that I don't know if Scott is a fan of Stephen King, but I get the feeling that there was some influence
there was a very Stephen King-like feel.
Yeah, there was definitely some influence there.
What do you think about the music, the sort of sound design? Did it sort of keep, because it felt very unsettling. I feel like they got the unsettling vibe.
Yeah, and it was a bit different. It was a different concept, with the obvious exception of Willy's Wonderland. It beat Willy's Wonderland in the fact that it actually had a script, and it wasn't just, was it Bruce Willis?
Is it Bruce?
Whoever played.
No, I will find you.
What?
Oh, what's he called now? Oh,
whoever played the guy.
That guy, yeah.
Whoever played the guy in Willy's Wonderland basically carried the whole film single-handedly, and nobody spoke during the whole film, from what I can recall.
But in this, the animatronics didn't really speak, did they? Apart from the kids.
Were they supposed to?
I mean, I can remember ages ago they were saying that they were giving them voices or something. I was kind of surprised that.
Yeah, but you're coming at this from somebody who's been obsessing about it for the last 10 years. I'm just coming at it as someone who's just been to the cinema and watched the film.
Well,
so
would have been nice to have heard Kellen Goff.
So,
Go get him! What a party pooper!
yeah, overall, it was a decent film. It wasn't a film that it wouldn't be on my top 10 all-time favourite films. It wouldn't be a film I would necessarily rush to watch again. I mean, I'm sure I'll have to watch it again.
One of the cute things when we were watching it was we saw the Bonnie plushie, and he was like, "Oh, I I got you that.
Yeah,
It's like,
and
there it
he
is.
was constantly whispering things to me that I had no clue what he was talking about. Oh, that was from the second. That was from the second game.
The clock noise was from the fourth game.
That spring trap. Like I didn't. I just like I didn't understand what he was talking about. I was just trying to watch the film for what
Do you
it
think it
was.
could have been a bit more violent? Like I thought where it came on, where that security guard shitting himself.
I expected far more gore, far more fright, far more everything. Quite honestly,
Because
there was a lot more. It was a lot more psychological thriller for me than it was horror.
I were kind of like, we actually met some FNAF fans when we were coming out of the cinema. And before, when Brett went to the loo and came back, there was this person dressed as Foxy, wasn't there? And got some lovely pictures here.
I mean, I have to say, whatever it is, which I still don't know, but whatever it is that the FNAF fans didn't like about it, or whatever it is that they were expecting that they didn't get, well, I have to really, just assume that the reason they didn't get exactly what they wanted was because
The game's so complex, it's got a massive story to it.
okay, I don't know what that means, but I'll finish my sentence.
Law.
Right, it's because Scott and whoever else
Jason Blum.
whoever was clearly trying to appeal to people like me, who aren't people who collect all these models and collect all these plushies and obsess about the games and all
got
that.
a t-shirt.
Yeah, I got a t-shirt on that I bought for
made you
Christmas
wear it.
last year. Yeah, so I think clearly he was trying to appeal to a wider audience. He knows that the Anthonys of the world are going to watch this film. Of course, he knows that. What he's trying to do is he's trying to appeal to the Bretts of the world. That's what he's trying to do. People who just like horror films, and there's nothing wrong with that.
No. Yeah.
So anyway, that's pretty much all I've got to say. Oh no, I will say one other thing. It was quite character driven, and I did feel that the characters were very, very well fleshed out, which is more than I was expecting. I am a little bit confused as to why nobody seemed to have addressed the fact that Auntie was dead in the living room.
She's going to come back in the next one. She's like, I'm back. Yeah,
Another thing that kind of struck me. I know it was the 90s, but if I was going to spend that much time like manipulating and gaslighting somebody, like befriending Josh Hutcherson, not that you'd have to pay me to befriend Josh Hutcherson, but if I was going to spend that much time befriending Josh Hutcherson and sleeping over and looking after the kid and all this, that and the other, I would want more than $200 for that.
And they killed her, didn't they?
Yeah.
She got.
And if I was going to break into like Fazbear's Pizza Parlour and cause all that destruction and risk going to prison, I would want more than $1,000 to be shared between 3-4 people. I felt that part of the story was a bit stupid. I didn't really feel like we got a proper. I know Josh's character said, "Oh, she only wants the payments for looking after the kid." I didn't really feel like we got a proper sense of what the motivation was of Auntie as to why she wanted the kid.
I'm sure they said it was Mrs. Afton on the announcing the cast list, but I don't know what happened. Some of the stuff that I followed on Faz.
I think we could have. I think the film would have benefited from the perspective of somebody who's not a FNAF fan and is just enjoying it as a film. I think it would have benefited from more character development for the Auntie character as to why she was doing what she was doing. Anyway, we've already gone on 12 minutes.
Yep. So
I'm going to shut up now.
Yep.
And I'm going to let you speak.
Well, I enjoyed it. Again, I'm going to do a podcast with Kira and James. So my thoughts will be, because I'm running low on space, my thoughts will be fleshed out through that video that I'm going to be recording tomorrow.
Oh, does this mean it's going to be brief?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Sure. So yeah, basically, thank you so much for watching. Again, this video was more of a what did Brett think, because I know...
Are you not going to say what you thought?
I'm going to say, I love the story. I was a bit tripping out when they were being nice to them. The animatronics were being nice to them. I was like, what the fuck? what's going on? And then I liked the little subtle references to. Did anyone notice the doll face from the books, from the Fazbear
Oh, I'm
books?
sure they'll have noticed.
Oh my god! I was like, it's from the books. It's that book. That's what I'm. Oh my god!
I'm sure the others will have noticed.
Yeah, like, and then like, I thought the Springlock scene could have been a bit more violent and a bit more gory.
It all could have been.
Like, I feel like I don't know if they're going to do it for the bonus features or release of it, because I know they did it to Megan, where they made it all gory and bloody. But I don't know what's going to happen, because there's been loads of TikToks. Like my friend Charlotte, hello if you're watching. If you're not, why not watching? She said a lot of it's come from the books, like a lot of the parallels. And Mike's family is supposed to be Emily's family, Henry Emily.
Just before you finish.
Sorry,
Why am I closer up now?
I think
I'm too close.
there we go.
Okay, there. So anyway, what I was saying before you stopped the recording, right? Action. So, before you finish the video, then, for my sake and for any viewer who's not FNAF obsessed, which probably is nobody. Okay, so just before you wrap the video up, because I know you don't want to particularly talk about your views.
I'm going to do a podcast.
So, but could you, for my benefit and the benefit of any non-FNAF fans watching this video, which there's probably nobody, but what was it exactly that the FNAF fans were expecting that they didn't get? And what was the big disappointment?
I think it was some of the lore beats were missed, and it didn't feel like. I know they've gone from Mike's perspective, but it was like they wanted it to be game accurate. I mean, it was game accurate. They had loads of beats that were ticked, and in the coming days, when the reviews come through, I'm sure it will continue to be like, oh yeah, they did do that. I feel like it's like because they've had such a perspective, they've had such like a view of
Perspective.
That's it, like of how it should be done from what we've seen from fan films, the games, and I feel like we wanted it to be sort of based through his lens of he's in there every day, so it's like we see them trying to kill him, and I don't know. That's, you know, like the when you say, oh, it's a game where the guy's got to survive 5 nights. It's like
it's interesting you say that, because I kind of thought when I was watching it, the whole concept of 5 nights seems to have gone out the window.
yeah,
Like, I was expecting it to be like, oh, he works there for 5 nights, and it's like night 1 this happens, and then night
yeah,
2,
yeah. That's what happens. It gets aggressive, progressively more harder as the nights go on. I mean, FNAF 1's easy,
and that just didn't. You
yeah.
lost track of how many
Yeah.
nights it had been.
So yeah, there was some stuff that was like people had that perspective it was going to be night 1, night 2, night 3, night 4. And
I think the word you're looking for is expectation.
Well,
and I think
yeah.
I think your fandom, they all want things how they want them, and then if it's not exactly how they want it, then they get mardy. That's the impression I get, quite honestly.
I mean, so a lot of people were probably expecting it to be all set in the security office, and then things get worse every night. Because that's how it works in the games. Like, the guy goes home and then he comes back for your next shift. I liked how the phone guy was the killer. Thought that was pretty good. But yeah, like I liked Foxy running down the corridor. I liked the fact that they used the tune when he's humming. I feel like the opening was very good. Like the animation style, they made it 8-bit minigame. It felt like the secret endings. I liked how there was some of the book lore in there in some places. The whole game theory thing with the dream theory, I thought that was hammed up to a little bit with the book and wanting the viewers to see that. So I thought that was good. Matt Pat getting a cute little feature in a Sparky's. It's the most important meal of the day. I thought that was absolutely lovely. You know, it was just really nice to see. And I forget his name, Corey, who's driving the taxi. I thought that was fun.
So overall, are you disappointed?
Me?
Yeah. Did you get what you wanted from it? Did it meet your expectations?
I thought it was a fun film. I thought you could tell they tried so hard to gel with the fans, give the fans a fun film. I've heard some people say that it was like a Disney Halloween film on Disney Channel. It was that sort of cringe, but I all I'm going to say is
I didn't feel it was anything like
no,
that.
I don't. No. I don't. I really don't think it was like that. I feel it was fair enough. It was toned down because of the younger fans who I think 13. I know my friend.
It was a 15.
Is it 15?
15 movie.
I feel like because one of my friends went with her two nephews and she enjoyed it. She thought it was great. I feel like the more like I heard some fans in the audience saying, "What was that?" Or "I don't understand what that was," or "What was going on?" And then I heard some fans saying, "I'm going to rewatch it again 3 times," or "I just watch it 5 times," or 6, whatever. You know, it had its moments. I liked the bit towards the end, the cliffhanger, where it's like, "Whoa, he always comes back." That was good. There was so much, but I feel like I need to write a bit of a video essay out, and just put my points across properly. But it was fun, and the addition of the FNAF tune towards the end I thought was really good. That was so cute. I don't really have a lot of negative things to say because I think from like all this build up to it, it was fun. All I'm going to say is, the only criticism that I'm going to say is, I feel like the death scenes could have been a bit, not heavy gore, but it could have been a bit more scary. Like
the whole thing could have
been
scary.
I think that's what some fans are annoyed about. Like, I really liked it. I thought it was an enjoyable film, but it was just like.
I mean, what genre is this film actually?
Horror. Horror.
If it's supposed to be
horror,
if it's supposed to be a horror film, then
they could have had more sort of with the ghost kids. That could have been a lot scarier.
It's a letdown if it's supposed to be a horror. If I'm being honest.
I mean, yeah,
I would say it's a thriller.
Yeah,
and I don't not like thrillers, but if you're going to call this a horror film and you're trying to appeal to the horror,
I mean, it's in the horror genre.
Yeah, I don't think it's a horror.
It didn't. Again, like that's the thing. Like I feel it had its moments where, ooh, you know, with the death scene towards the end, the spring locks. I was like, ooh, that should have been a bit more painful, where it's ripping into his guts.
But then again, you know, if it had been constant gore, constant horror, then
the younger people might not be able to have gotten and watched it. But I mean,
well, they shouldn't be watching it anyway.
Well, I don't mean.
What
I
was going to say
like
is, if it had been jam packed with gore, death, then I suppose people would criticise it as saying, you know, there wasn't any character development. It was just constant death and constant gore. So you know, the producers aren't going to be able to win.
Yeah.
Whatever they do, are they?
I mean, like they've said they're doing like more bonus stuff for the DVD. So, do we get a edited version of it with a bit more like what they did? But did the Megan that you watched? Did you watch the sort of tame Megan where there wasn't a lot of blood and stuff?
I think so.
Because on what they released for the DVD, it was apparently a bit more bloody. So I don't know if that's what they're going to do, but a lot of fans are speculating online that's what they might do.
Oh, you guys are good at speculation. Anyway,
I'm looking forward to the next 2 films.
I hope you enjoyed. Yeah, we hope you enjoyed this video.
Let us know in the comments, what was your favourite bit about the film? What did you expect more of? And what was your favourite bit? Because there was so much going on. Like, Mike's trauma is supposed to be from what my friends just sent me. It's supposed to be based upon, in the actual game lore, of Henry Emily like losing his daughter. I don't know, like some of the names, like Vanessa was used from Security Breach. You know, the security woman where she's in the left.
Yeah,
you don't get it. But like how she was William Afton's daughter, like what the fuck? Wow. Like I was not expecting this, but it was good. It was good excitement. It was like, oh wow.
So are you saying there was poor continuity?
No, I mean I feel like because he's tried to set it not in the game. It's got bits of the game and bits of the books. Like,
But
this
you've got to remember, it's based on.
yeah, it's based on the game.
It's not a part of the games. It is based on.
I mean, some of the character names, like Hank's the guy who built the animatronics in the game. So I feel like that's where some of the what's the word? Like, they didn't do this, but they did it. But like the
Easter eggs.
Yeah, that's it. That's the word. Like, a lot of fans are really happy about the fact that they put so much into it that complements the game, and it's a nod to the game. The puppets theme towards the end as the credits are going on. Wow. Like, felt like that was the big wow. But yeah.
Thank you for watching,
Yeah.
guys. Thank you for watching.
Yep.
As Anthony said, please like, subscribe, comment, tell us what you want, what you don't want.
Do you want to see more reviews?
Tell us what you liked about the film,
Yeah.
and don't forget to check out Anthony's podcast, which we'll definitely keep you informed of.
Yes, we're gonna. I'm gonna do a bit more with, because Brett's the sort of casual viewer watching it, similar to what we did with Heartstopper.
This is a role reversal.
Yes, it's a role reversal. So if you like Heartstopper and LGBTQ+,
check out our Heartstopper
Yeah,
videos if you haven't already. If you have any interest whatsoever in
Yeah.
that.
Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it. And yeah, look out for the podcast. It's speaking with two hardcore FNAF fans, so I'm going to see what they thought, because they're dying to know what I thought. And we're going to go into a bit more detail. So yeah, thank you.
We'll see you
so
soon,
much.
guys.
See you
Bye.
later. Bye.